Hey, starting. My public. Hey, anybody out there? It's Brian here. Just gonna see if anybody pops on this time of night. Yep, it's my first. Hey, how's it going? One of the few up late at night. I know on the West Coast here it is 12:30, so half an hour after midnight. How's it going? I've never live streamed before, so got it all set up and I thought I'd just give it a go. Hey, how's it going, Joe? Where are you guys located? Are you on the West Coast or East Coast or Middle Coast? North Carolina. Hi, Nancy. How's it going? You must be up really late up in North Carolina. So it's I know it's 12:30 here on the West Coast. Yeah, 3:30. Terry, how's it going? Texas. So yeah. Oh, there we go. Joe on the West Coast. So, all right. So there's a few of you up and around this time of night. Not just me. But can you guys hear me okay? I guess so, huh? Oh. I hope I didn't wake you up, Nancy. All right. Idaho. Evan, how's it going? Hey, thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was audio good. Awesome. Yeah, I've been trying a couple different microphones. I tried the microphone on my webcam, and I actually have a different, like a recording mic just sitting right up above me here, and everything's going okay. I've been recording some short videos lately just here from my home office and getting this set up, and I thought I'd try out a live stream just to see how it goes. So you guys are the first ones to ever see this. I don't know if I'll keep it. But what's keeping me up? I'm always up late. I don't know. I kind of blow it early when you get tired early in the evening. It's like, oh, I'm kind of sleepy. But then, I keep going, and next thing I know, it's after midnight, 1 o'clock. I'm still working on something or doing whatever. So, yeah, Melissa and I were up watching some TV earlier, watching that, what's that, I don't know, that Miss Maisel thing, that show on, was it on Prime? Amazing Miss Maisel, I forget, but we've watched the first few episodes. I really like it so far. So yeah, and then she went to bed, and I said, well, I'm gonna go up and try to get this live stream set up. So glad you guys could be out here joining me. I was a little tired earlier, but I'm kind of getting a second wind at this point. I was filming a video earlier today, working on the RV, and last night I was thinking, I'm going to do a project tomorrow being today, now yesterday, Saturday, and I needed to install this new window in on the door of the RV. So got to doing that, and I looked outside, and the weather was pretty good, and figured, okay, the sun was kind of peeking through, and it was a little cloudy, but I got out there, and I ended up just spending way too much time doing this. Whoa, how's it going from UK? What time is it there? So yeah, I was working on that, and then so I got stuff set up. I was getting ready to start on the project. Hey, how's it going, David? And it started raining, so I got the camera set up, and I got my stuff out there ready to do this, and it started raining. So luckily, as the door side of the RV, pulled out the awning, so I started working under the awning. Got kind of dark, and then started working on this project on this window. 8:37. Okay, so it's in the morning in UK. Okay, I figured. So yeah, it's just kind of a day of kind of a pain in the butt shooting this video, and because I'm shooting outside, in the middle of shooting the video, my neighbor who's been working on their deck for so long, they start sanding, so then planes are flying over, and then yeah, it wasn't the best shoot, but we'll see what happens with the video. Hey, Mark in Perth, how's it going? Okay, we got UK, we got Australia, we got all over the US. 21 people on in the middle of the night. Well, probably not the middle of the night, on the other side. Glad to have you guys on. We can get to know each other better in the middle of the night here on the Pacific, on the west coast of the US. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll do a little more, do a few more live streams here in the future. And Detroit, how's it going? Is it Antone in Detroit? Yes, working. Tony at work. Yeah, I know that feeling. I've been there. So, yeah, things are going good on this end. Just doing a lot of different projects, working on designing a new replacement for our TV stand, which kind of mounts in the front of the RV. But I'm building a table slash desk slash retractable TV stand that I've been working on, and hoping that's going to go well. I thought I was close to being done with the design. Melissa and I were talking about it today, and I need to go back to the drawing board a little bit, make a few changes. Especially, I have this piece that's going to flip out and become a table for like a dining room table. So I'm going to be replacing my remodeling most of the main living area in the RV. Replacing this couch with this table desk thing, and we're gonna take out the dinette, replace it with a couple of recliners and things like that. So working on that project. I'll be publishing some videos here about that in the future. So got a couple questions coming in. Oh yeah, loving those solar panel window awnings. Yeah, I like those too. I still use those. I got two small ones and I got a big one. Sometimes I also just set up a flexible panel just outside the RV. I just lean it up against something. That works pretty good. But if I'm going to be somewhere for a while, I do those window awning things, and those work pretty well. So yeah, question: will I be getting lithium batteries anytime soon? And am I going to be at the RTR in January? No, we're so. Yeah, both questions. Lithium batteries. Eventually, I probably will, but it's just been a year since I've kind of upgraded to my AGMs, and it's about 450 amp hours of AGM batteries, and they work pretty well for us. So I think eventually we'll probably all go to lithium, but I don't want to fork over the money right now. Plus, I just redesigned my whole battery compartment, and I'm going to just live with my AGMs for a while. But yeah, they are really heavy, and to lose 2/3 of the weight and going with lithium would be awesome. To be able to charge up faster, that would be awesome. But I'm not quite there with the lithium yet, but at some point I will be. I know it looks like everybody's getting Battleborns these days, but I'm going to stick with my AGMs for now and haul them around. It's about 300 pounds of them, I think, is what I got in the back. And no, I'm not going to be at RTR in January. We're staying around here in the Northwest for the winter. We had our kids. I have a son that's overseas, and he was visiting, and he just went back actually yesterday. So we've had some family around the Northwest, and we're going to be staying around here. And there's some work obligations and stuff we got to do too. So going to be sticking around here. Probably hopefully head south or around. Do some trips. Hopefully in the spring, early spring. Antone, thanks. Thanks for the correction. All right. Any questions? Thanks, Extreme Fencer. Yeah, I'm glad you like the videos. Yeah, you got it on your camper van. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, same thing on the lithium. I love the idea of lithium batteries, but not everybody's got them yet, and I like to kind of stick with what other people are using, and stick with that for now. Like I said, there's no real need for me to change to lithium at this point, and frankly, it's not worth the money for me right now to do that when I got something that works just fine. So, hey Brian, good very early morning, Tito. Yes, it is a very early morning here. Where are you at, Brian? What else can I tell you? You guys got any more questions? I'm not sure about the next video I'll put. I'll probably be the one I was mentioning, putting in that that door, or that replacing the window in my RV door, and then the next one after that will probably be putting together some stuff on my remodel project. Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of money. Extreme fencer, drinking some tea. Yeah, lithium's still pretty cost prohibitive for a lot of folks, even though, a lot of folks make the argument that, there's just more longevity in them, and over time, they'll pay for themselves. And I think that's true. It's just that it's still a lot of money, even for the drop-in lithiums that we have available now, like the Battleborns that everybody's getting. They're still about $1,000, 900 to $1,000 per 100 amp hours. So I have 450 amp hours of AGMs right now, so that would be, about $4,000 or more. Even though I probably won't need that much if I went lithium, but still, that's a lot of money. Yeah, 950 at Northern Arizona Wind and Sun. Oh, you got 3 of them. Cool. Yep, you're right. Yeah, so at the end of the day, they're probably going to be more efficient long term. I mean, if I was starting out from scratch and I had the money, I would probably go that route. Which are the best flex solar panels? Well, that's a tough question. Oh, hold on a second. David Dennison says, could you say hi to my daughter, Nancy Lynn? Hi, Nancy Lynn. How are you? Hi. All right, where was I? Which are the best flex solar panels? I don't know if there's really some best ones. There's a lot of options available now, and it's kind of hit and miss actually. I mean, it's hard to tell which ones are best based on what's available now. I will say that something I'm going to be looking at soon, and I'll probably be doing a review of it, is probably on the SunPower, who's an American company. They're releasing some new flex panels to the market, and they have the really high-end state-of-the-art SunPower cells, and now they're putting them in. They have their own flex panels that they're not going to be selling, and those are the premium cells. So I'm going to actually get a couple of those. I'm going to test them out and do a video about that. So one thing that's attractive about that is a lot of folks ask about flex panels that are US made, and a lot of folks would rather have US made solar panels, and a lot of the ones available now are not. So at least the SunPower ones would be, and they're backed by a big company in the United States, supplying this 25-year. I don't know if it's 25-year warranty on those, but it's pretty good. So I'm going to be checking those out. Outside of that, I'm using the HQST panels right now, and they're still working pretty good, but I also have a spare just in case. Let's see. Brian asks, how's the RV cover working out? Is it really worth the cost? I've had the same RV cover on for the last several years now. It's actually on the RV right now. It's been raining and leaves are falling, and I like to keep the cover on right now because I just cleaned it. I just cleaned the roof, and once the leaves start falling and it rains, it just gets nasty, and I like to keep it under cover while I'm doing that. But it's still pretty good. I mean, it obviously it's showing some wear after a few years, but sacrificing itself for the RV. But it's probably got another year or so left in it. I've probably had it for about 4 years, and I'll probably be replacing it. But certainly, it's a thicker one. Definitely don't go with the really thin, really lightweight ones. The ones that I've tried have kind of destroyed themselves in a year or so. Let's see, Jay, if I've had 450 amp hours, I'd need about 225 of lithium. Yep. So I know I'd need less because I charge faster. And, it's going to put out more power. I can draw them down further, and yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen the chart, the curve on the lithium batteries. It'll crank out a lot of power like this straight across, and then it just kind of dies at the end. Where the lead acid, the more load you put on it, the less it outputs. So lead acid has, for me, it's worked pretty well, but I don't really draw them down below 80%, and that seems to work pretty good for me. And we just don't use really heavy electrical loads. So let's see. Start the rebellion. I went with Firefly Carbon Foam AGMs. 150 amp hours. Wow, that's quite a bit. All right. Let's see. There are companies in the UK that sell secondhand panels. Oh yeah. Cool. Says Extreme Fencer. Yeah, on the flex panels, I mean, I know it's kind of controversial. A lot of folks have had them fail. Some of it, I think they're still, you still need to treat them with care. A lot of people think, oh, it's flexible solar panels. I can put them on there. I can walk all over them. I totally don't recommend doing that. I rarely walk on mine, even though I know I can if I have to. But the key with the flex panels is to really be gentle with them when you're installing them, because you really can't flex them that much. If you try, you might on some of the cheaper ones that you get from overseas, in China or whatever, the cells, once they crack a little bit, you're kind of screwed. So be careful when you mount them, and don't mount them with anything sticking up in the middle of the panel, because you have a little bit of a bump in there, and that's what's gonna, if you put pressure on it, it's gonna crack them. But again, those SunPower ones that are coming out, they have a solid copper back to the cells, so they're going to be a little bit more robust, and that's what they claim anyway. But I'm gonna try those out. Hey Paula from Alachua, Florida. Yeah. Yawning. Am I yawning? I don't know. I might be. RV with the Tanners, come on down to Oregon. Hey, we're not that far from you, just a little further north. Yeah, Paula's got the Renogy system. Let's see. We should go camping together. Yeah, we need to get out more. We've just been staying close to home the last few months. Busy doing stuff, but it's getting better. Yeah, Firefly Energy. Start the rebellion. Okay. Yeah, I was really surprised actually when I ordered the batteries. I got these 4 AGM batteries. I bought them off of Amazon. It's the they were really big. About 300 something pounds worth of batteries in it. To be able to buy them on Amazon and just get shipped to you is that was crazy. I didn't expect it to work out that way. And they just came in heavy duty cardboard boxes. Drop shipped. They're just heavy, but yeah, within a few days, just like anything else you get from Amazon, worked out pretty good. But yeah, Renogy, good quality panels. I'm glad to hear that with tech support. I do have some Renogy panels. I tend to pick up panels here and again just to do some testing. Yeah, Anton, yeah, they're 219 for SunPower Flex panels, 100 watt. Yeah, they're actually coming out with soon, and I'm going to get a couple of these 110 watt panels from SunPower. So those are the ones I'm going to check out. And I was trying to think about why they would be 110 watt, and I think it's just because the cells that they have in them, they have premium cells in those that they're going to be releasing to the American market. And I'm thinking the cells just put out a little bit more than the other cells, so that's how they can claim the 110 watt panel. Oh, great, Paul. Yeah, I haven't had to deal with Renogy support, but I'm glad to know that it's that they've been great. I know a lot of people have a really good experience with Renogy. Let's see. I'm surprised everybody's up. It's 33 people on now, and it's it's close to 1 o'clock here on the West Coast. You guys are troopers. All right. Oh yeah. So RV with Tanners, don't you have unisolar on your roof? Yes, I do. So I've had those on for many years. Those unisolar panels are actually great. I mean, I haven't had any issues with them. My only regret with them is that I mounted them a little bit different because, if you guys aren't familiar, the unisolar ones are the panels that I have that are really long. They're thin film panel. Those are the really long, skinny ones. They're not the monocrystalline or polycrystalline, so they're thin film technology, but they have a sticky underside to them, so this basically, stuck to the roof, and I'm not going to get them off, I don't think. I wouldn't even want to try. But they actually perform really, really well. My only regret is that when I installed the first really long one, I should have moved it over about 3 or 4 inches because I would have been able to put a second really long one, I think, right next to it. But I didn't know I'd be adding so many. And that's one of the lessons learned, I guess, for a lot of folks that ask is, what tips would I have? And one of those is actually plan ahead. And if you're going to put solar on, think of, as many, look at your roof and say, how many solar panels could I possibly fit on there and where would I put them? Because even if you're starting with just a couple of panels, because in my experience, chances are, once you start adding solar to your RV, you're going to add more and more. So plan ahead and figure out where those might go. Let's see. Described anything solar in my Google News feed. I recommend it because, yes, Jay, there's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of new developments in solar. I also follow a lot of the solar tech stuff. The problem is that there's a lot of cool stuff, but it's so long before it even makes it down to the consumer level, especially for RVs. We're such a niche market that, and we're used to buying stuff on Amazon that's really affordable or inexpensive to us. So I talk to a lot of folks in the solar industry. And a lot of the challenges are that they have a hard time meeting the price because we're used to, paying a couple $100 or less for, say, a flex panel or even a 100-watt panel at, $100, $120, $30. It's difficult for folks to, compete in that market sometimes, especially with newer technology. So yeah, let's see. Hey, Chris, Chawinski. How's it going? Hawaii is up. Hotel Boz. Yeah. I'm actually from Hawaii. I don't know if you knew that. But it's been a year or so since I've been back. But in fact, there's a lot of... I don't know if you guys... Do you know actually who Tito is? And let somebody comment. Let me know if you know actually who Tito is. The LT store is really useful, but yes, I watch their videos too. Yeah, she's pretty good. The LT store videos. Extreme Fencer says. So start the rebellion. You also think about shadowing. Yeah, on for solar certainly makes a difference, especially when you start thinking about if you're gonna wire them in a series, parallel, or whatever. What I've been experimenting with lately is just having multiple strings on multiple charge controllers, and that's going okay so far. And that's just one way also to kind of have that redundancy in case one string gets shadowed or has some shading that doesn't affect the overall performance. I mean, it affects it, but not as significantly as if all your panels were wired in series. Yes, RV with Tanner's the doll. So who's Tito? Hey Sid, New Mexico. So quickly, so Paula, what brand of AGM batteries? The ones I got were on from Amazon. It's the what you call it? Gosh, it's escaping me. It's the oh shoot. I can't remember the name off the top of my head today. It's late, but yeah, shoot me a message. I'll get them to you. Actually, if you go look on my if you go to kit.com/rvwithtito, they might be under one of my kits out there for products. Or actually, if you go look at the video that I wired those four in series or series parallel, I put my 4 AGMs together. They'll be you'll be able to see what my batteries are there. Let's see. So yes, who's Tito? So the ukulele guy on the dash. That's absolutely true. So the story of Tito, a lot of folks say they call me Tito, so I answer by Tito these days. But no, they're not Trojan. But Tito, when we first got an RV, started a blog and wanted to call it something instead of Brian or whatever. So we it was not Tito Puenta, but that'd be cool. Get my timbales out. But Tito was actually the kind of inspired by the Travelocity gnome. I don't know if you remember that guy. Remember, was it Expedia? They would take this gnome out and that's you'd take pictures of the gnome and where in these places you'd go. So we figured that'd be something cool to have, but not necessarily a gnome, something that's more personal. So had this dancing hula doll, chubby guy dashboard thing. So he's got a little grass skirt, dances around, and we had it in the RV. And we figured I started just setting him out like in Death Valley and these places at the beach and taking pictures. When we first started this blog like over 10 years ago. And we decided to name him Tito, and we're coming up with a name. And one of my kids' friends actually just said, "Hey, how about that? That there was a cartoon on TV at the time called Rocket Power, and one of the characters is this big Hawaiian guy from the beach, and his name was Tito." So that's the name that stuck, and we started calling everything RV with Tito. And since then, that's just kind of how it evolved from the blog to YouTube and so forth. So that's the story of Tito. We now have a little Tito. You might see in the videos, I actually have the larger Tito doll in the shop in the garage. So we have a smaller Tito now in the RV that sits on the dashboard. Let's see what we got. Inverter driven. So Anton asks, wish RV air conditioner heat pumps were inverter driven like split systems. Yeah. If you're asking about about being able to run those on batteries, that's always been a challenge. They just use so much power. I know here in the U.S., a lot of folks, especially those of us who like to do boondocking, we just stay away from cold weather. So, kind of find those places where it's between 50 and 80 degrees, and so we don't have to use air conditioning. And I know it's an issue in the eastern part of the U.S. where there's humidity and and heat. It's just really uncomfortable, and bugs and stuff like that. So probably more prevalent in the southwestern or western U.S. Let's see. Extreme Fencer van is called Felix from the letters on the number plate. All right. Hotel Buzz, how about Renogy 170 watt lithium batteries? Price looks good. They're tall. Well, yeah, that's the another issue is with the batteries is, you know, once you start adding a whole bunch of batteries together, you got to really take into account where you're going to fit them and being able to put them in, you know, how many can you fit in a small space. I wish I had a really big battery bay, but I don't. I have a small space, so I kind of picked some, you know, that were tall enough and more square so I could fit 4 of them, or large ones, in this small space. It's pretty tight, but it works. Let's see. Nicole in India, how are you? Afternoon, yeah, I bet it's afternoon there. It's not afternoon here. So JCOM48, where do I keep 4 batteries on my Class C? So I have moved my battery compartment several times. When I first got the Class C, it came with 1 battery, and it was had its own little battery bay, and it's just for 1 battery. And it is now actually where I keep all my solar charge controllers. But what I did eventually to have 4 batteries is I took one of my storage bays that's pretty much right in front of my rear wheels, and I converted that to my battery bay. It's also where I have my power cable. So yeah, I had to reinforce it with a big iron bar because it's gonna have a lot of weight in there, and I put a piece of wood on the bottom, so I have all of my battery cables running through there. It's tight though. It's really tight, really snug. All right, what do we got? Let me see, Extreme Fencer, we do the same thing. We got a toy dog from Caravan. We bought Felix, so we take pictures. Awesome. Yeah. The thing is with the Tito thing is I started taking pictures of Tito in different places, and later I stopped doing that, and I just started kind of like photoshopping him in. I would have a picture there, and I would just kind of Photoshop him into the picture. So Joe, looking at getting a dash cam for my car. Any ideas? I don't know. I have a dash cam in the RV. There's a lot of options out there. I paid about $100 for the one I got on Amazon, and it just has a SD card in it that loops. You know, I think there's a lot of good ones. I don't really have any particular recommendation, but it's good. I have it powered from my house batteries, so I can leave it on like when we're camping at a Walmart or something overnight, and it points out of the front windshield, so it's kind of a nice little good security camera as well. But yeah, I would just get one that's you know, good quality, good reviews. The one I have, I don't know if it's a particular brand, but it works pretty good. Let's see. Yes, Extreme Fencer, yes, you can stack lithium on the side. I think I could do the same thing with my AGMs as well, but not the flooded. And so, yeah, 30 degrees in Detroit. Well, it's probably mid-40s here. Actually, it's been kind of mild lately, sometimes even in the around 50, low 50s. Let's see. RV with the Tanner's dash cam. We've got the Rexing V1 1080p dash cam. Yeah, mine's 1080p as well. I have it set to like 720p just so I can get more time on my SD card. For the most part, I don't really use the 1080p video for anything besides just kind of reviewing sometimes. But yeah, a lot of good dash cams out there. Okay, so Hotel Buzz, your internet on the road using your phone, or do you have a data hotspot? So I do, for our internet on the road, I still use my phone. So here's my phone here, and it's an Android phone, and we have one of those grandfathered in Verizon unlimited data plans. So we use that, and I'm able to actually create a hotspot on my phone, and I usually have it sitting just next to our WeBoost internal antenna, and once the hotspot's enabled, we can connect to the internet through our tablets, or we actually have a Samsung Smart TV as well. So we can stream Netflix and things like that. So yeah, this is our primary source of internet when we're out on the road. Through Verizon, I don't have a separate hotspot, so I use the phone for a hotspot. Yeah, Verizon Jetpack works good. Yeah, we have we're kind of holding on to that unlimited data plan that grandfathered in one, and I haven't had any issues. It works really well. All right, off-grid Northwest, every RV in freezing weather, considering it, but don't want a giant poops popsicle tank. We don't really winterize or anything, but one thing that I've done in the past when I know it's going to be really cold, it really doesn't get too extreme where we live, so I'll just also take some RV antifreeze and dump some of that down my gray tank and my black tank when we're out camping if we think it's going to be really cold, or if we're at home and we're going to get a really below freezing spell for a while. I'll make sure I got some RV antifreeze down my tanks, especially enough to cover the valves so they don't stick. So you can put one in your black, one in your gray, or just kind of split that container in either one, and that should do the trick. Otherwise, I also keep a light on. I have a compartment light in where my tanks are, so I just keep that on. It's one of the ones I still use an incandescent bulb because it just puts out enough heat to keep it from freezing down there. Start the rebellion. Which cellular network? We're on Verizon. Let's see. Yeah, Paula using a Verizon Jetpack. Yep. Yeah. If we get a decent signal, the streaming's usually pretty good. Yeah, RV Tanners, why not just blow out your lines with compressed air? Yeah, like I said, for us anyway, we don't winterize our RV. It doesn't get that cold here. Plus, we do still use it throughout the winter, and we like to be able to just go. So I've actually never ever winterized the RV, and I haven't had a need to blow out the lines or anything like that. But certainly, if you live in the Midwest or somewhere that gets really, really cold, yeah, blowing out your lines or using antifreeze. Like I said, I use the antifreeze in my gray and black tank. I don't put them in the water line. All right. Brian Pack asking, "Are you a full timer?" No, we're not full timers. So we actually I'm at home right now, so this is my home office, and we do like to go travel in the RV and take long trips, but we are not full-time RVers. Hotel Buzz, the traffic in the Seattle area getting harder to drive around with all the traffic. That's the truth. Luckily, we don't live in the area close enough to Seattle where we get affected by the traffic, but my daughter lives in Seattle, and whenever we go visit her or have to take somebody to the airport or get around Seattle or get to town, it's horrible. And every time I have to do that, Melissa and I were always sitting in traffic thinking, some people have to do this every day, and it's just horrible. But luckily, even where we live west of Seattle on the other side of the water, and yeah, any bit of traffic you kind of avoid. But yes, Seattle traffic is getting worse. Jay, AT&T for service, yep, unlimited. Yeah, $60 per net buddy. You have to buy your own router, yeah. Oh, let's see. One time in Portland, we had really cold weather, broke my shower faucet and drain. Ooh, not fun. RV with Tanners. Yeah, RV in cold weather just doesn't sound fun. Lots of issues. It's hard to come up with that. Oh, you got some in-laws in Bainbridge. Yeah, we're not too far from there. Herman van de Kerhoff. With all your repairs, how old is your RV? Last video with the mouse thing shows an older rig. That's our rig. So our RV is, we bought it in 2007. So it's 11 years old. Let's see, extreme fencer gets below freezing in the UK. I just emptied the tanks and have a heater on very low. Yeah, that works too. I also have a space heater. Actually, during the summer, if we're parked, have the RV parked by the house, I have enough daylight here during the summer, so I just run off of solar all summer, and I can keep my batteries recharged that way, and I can use my inverter and stuff. In the winter, though, I like to keep a space heater in the RV, so I have a small space heater that I keep plugged in. So I also have a shore power connection, shore power connection outside the house. So keep the RV plugged in so I can run the little heater inside. Oh, let's see. Hotel Buzz, Kitsap area from Seattle, in Hawaii 30 years. Well, that's where I'm at. Same area. Let me see. Joe, Brian, go to bed and dream about your next DIY video. Yeah, it's getting pretty late. What is it? Well, 1:15. Pretty soon. Oh yeah, start the rebellion. Electric blankets are the way for sleeping. That is the truth. That is probably one of the best things that one of the things we really like in the RV is actually it works really good even on batteries. I have a couple of just DC powered small electric blankets that I plug into a 12-volt socket by the bed. I have one on each side of the bed. So they run for about 45 minutes and warm up the bed, and they shut off. So they don't draw a lot of power, but then if you get colder in the middle of the night, you can kind of hit the button again and they turn on. So yeah, definitely an electric blanket is awesome for doesn't even have to be really cold, but even just enough to warm up the bed and keep you warm when you need it. Totally recommend a little DC powered electric blanket if you do a lot of boondocking. Let me see. What specs is that PC? You talking about this? This is that's from Mr. Jami. Actually, I'm running off of a laptop here, and this is my second monitor. This is a 4K 32-inch. Is that 32-inch monitor? Yeah, I got that earlier in the year. But yeah, I'm running off of a laptop here. Oh, Jay, good night. Take care, man. Thanks. Thanks for the thumbs up on the live stream. Appreciate it. Let's see. Well, let me see. Hotel Buzz, how are the flexible solar panels holding up? Last I heard, you had some water in the corners. Yeah, that video was a while ago. They're still holding up pretty good. Yeah, I've had no real issues. I may be replacing a couple of them just so I could try out some new sun power panels that I'll be getting soon. But otherwise, they've been holding up fine. I haven't had any fail or anything like that. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. I'm glad you guys were able to join me on this live stream. Certainly, this is my first time, and it's cool chatting. And yeah, when's the next video, RV with Tanners? Well, let's see. I was gonna try to put one out tomorrow, but I didn't get around to it. I did some filming today on this project that I was working on my RV door, but I didn't get a chance to. Oh, hoi ho! Good night. And I was thinking I could cram and get it out tomorrow, but it'll probably be out sometime this week. Let's see. JCOM48, I have two 100 watts on the roof of my Class C. If I upgrade to 4, should I take down the 2 and go 4 new? You're talking about solar panels? Probably not necessary. No, I would if there's nothing wrong with them, there's no reason to replace them with 4 new if they're working fine. I mean, really the key for combining solar panels is to make sure they put out the same voltage or the same amps, and then it really doesn't matter if you wire them in series or parallel. Now you come into issues when you start mixing and matching panels that have different specs. So if you had a 200 watt panels and you add 250 watt panels or something like that, then you have to be mindful about how you connect them together. Typically, without getting too much into it, it's gonna, if you put them in parallel or series, it's gonna pick up the specs of the lowest performing panel. But yeah, no need to replace all 4 of them if you just want to add 2 more. JCOM48 bus bar. Yeah, you could use a bus bar if you want to connect them all in parallel that way. I don't, but a lot of people do have a combiner box or something like that. Actually, I do have a combiner box that I have, and it kind of accomplishes the same thing. But a lot of folks, you might do that on the roof, or you might be able to take the solar cables all the way down to where your charge controllers are. It really depends on how far away your panels are from your charge controller and how you want to configure it on the roof. I went with a combiner box on my roof because I like to change things around quite a bit, and I don't have to always rerun cables. So, all right, Paula, take care. Thanks for joining me. Oh, let's see. Okay. Looks like everybody's saying goodnight. I'm going to say goodnight and sign off. And glad you guys could join me. And yeah, let me know if you want more of these live streams, and I'll do some more. So take care. I'm going to hit the stop button if I can get there. All right. See ya.